Hey listeners, welcome to Ahmad Coaching and I'm your teacher Dr. Anam. Today we are going to study about dialysis and its types. Coming towards the words dialysis. Dialysis word is made up of two words, di and lysis. Di mean going, while lysis mean to break apart something. So dialysis mean to break apart something and then pass it out. The dialysis is a medical procedure which is used to perform the function of the kidneys when they are no longer able to effectively filter nitrogenous waste products, which include urea, excess salts, and fluid from the bloods. So, in case of dialysis, which is a medical procedure, and this procedure is done on the patients whose kidney is not functioning. We know the function of kidney is to remove the nitrogenous waste and excessive salts out of the body in the form of urine. But if the kidney is unable to perform this function, it means that all these harmful substances they are going to build inside the body, inside the blood. In this case, to remove these substances, dialysis function or dialysis procedure is performed, in which, like I said, that separate it and pass it out. This procedure is going to do, it's going to separate these nitrogenous or harmful waste, and then it's going to pass it out of the body or out of the blood. Now the question is, what is the importance of dialysis? Dialysis is a life-saving treatment for the individuals with a severe kidney dysfunction or failure. So if the kidney is not functioning, then the alternative option is dialysis to save the person's life. The importance of dialysis includes that it removes the waste products and toxins. Like I said, that all the waste materials, all the nitrogenous waste products, salts, which are built up in the body because kidney is unable to filter them out, they are removed by dialysis. These waste products they include urea, creatinine, excess minerals which include potassium, phosphates or salts out of the blood. The second importance is the regulation of fluid balance. Dialysis removes excess fluid from the body to maintain the proper fluid balance. Otherwise, it can lead to edema, which is swelling, hypertension, high blood pressure, and pulmonary edema, which is the fluid in the lungs. We know that in the cells, the amount of fluid or the amount of water is maintained by different processes. We have already studied about osmosis, which is a process in which water is moved in and out of the cell so that the water potential is maintained. If that water potential or that fluid potential is disturbed, what is going to happen? That the water level or the fluid level inside the cell is going to build or is going to increase, which will lead to the cell, because it's going to get a lot of water, to swell. And ultimately this cell, if the fluid balance is increased to its potential, it can burst. Similarly, if the fluid balance or if the fluid pressure is increased in the blood, it's going to lead to high blood pressure. And if the fluid pressure is going to increase in the lungs, it's going to cause pulmonary edema. So, to maintain the level of water or fluid inside the body so that all the organs and cells they are performing their function normally, it is important to remove that excess fluid, and this excess fluid is removed by the help of dialysis. Then comes the electrolyte balance. Electrolytes which have some charges on them, like positive or negative charges. So dialysis, it is used to regulate the balance of essential electrolytes such as sodium, potassium, calcium, and bicarbonates. The level of these electrolytes is very important because they are used to maintain different functions in the cell. So if their level is not maintained, it means that cell is unable to perform its function. Another importance of dialysis is that it can be a bridge to kidney transplantation, helping to keep patient healthy enough to undergo transplant surgery. So if a person is waiting for the kidney transplantation, so dialysis is going to help to prolong its life so that appropriate or suitable kidney is provided to that person for the kidney transplantation. Another importance of dialysis is that it improves the quality of life. It allows the individuals with a kidney failure to continue their daily activities and maintain a normal lifestyle. Along with this, dialysis is helpful in the extension of life. It's going to sustain life by performing the essential functions of the kidney in individuals whose kidneys have failed. Talking about the types of dialysis, there are two types of dialysis. One is hemodialysis and the other one is peritoneal dialysis. Let's talk about hemodialysis. It's made up of two words, hemo and dialysis. Hemo means blood, and dialysis we have already find out that it's to separate something out of the body. In case of hemodialysis, this something is actually blood. So in other words, hemodialysis means cleaning of blood. Hemodialysis involves circulating the patient's blood outside the body through a dialyzer, which is also known as artificial kidney. The dialyzers filter out waste products, extra salts, and fluid from the blood. So what actually the procedure of hemodialysis? So what actually is happening in hemodialysis is that hemo means blood is passed out of the body into a specific machine which is known as dialyzer, and the purpose of this dialyzer is to act as a kidney to remove all the waste products, excessive fluids and salt out of the blood, and the clean blood is passed into the body again. So the procedure involves that blood is taken from the patient's body through a vascular access. Here in this diagram you can see that this is the patient, and from the patient through the vascular access the blood is taken out of the body. Then the blood flows through the dialyzer, which is artificial kidney, where it passes along a semi-permeable membrane, which is very important because the semi-permeable membrane allows only substances to pass out of them, while some substances they are not allowed to pass because it's semi. In this case, this semi-permeable membrane is going to remove or allow to pass nitrogenous waste, excessive salts and other toxins. So here we can see this blood is passed into this dialyzer, and this dialyzer here it has a semi-permeable membrane. The dialysis fluid, which is known as dialysate, on the other side of the membrane absorb waste products and excess substances from the blood by the process of diffusion. We know in the process of diffusion the molecules they move from higher concentration to the lower concentration. So in this case, the other side of the semi-permeable membrane contains the liquid which is known as dialysate or dialysis fluid. It has low amount of these nitrogenous substances or waste products. So these waste products they will start moving from the blood into this dialysate. And as the dialysate will pass from this area, it will take all the excessive waste with it to the waste bottle. Then the cleaned blood is returned to the patient's body. The waste product is moved to the dialysate, and the blood passing out of this dialyzer, it contains clean blood. Clean blood means that this blood doesn't contain any nitrogenous substances, excessive waste or toxins. Now this clean blood is again returned to the patients. If we talk about the frequency of hemodialysis, it is performed 3 times a week with each session lasting 3 to 5 hours. Then comes the second type of dialysis, which is known as peritoneal dialysis. The peritoneal word is made up of 2 words, peri and toneal. Peri means around, while toneal or teno means to stretch. The peritoneal word is used for the peritoneum, which means stretched over something, like something which is stretched around something. The peritoneum word is used for the abdominal membrane because the abdominal membrane it is stretched on the abdomen. So that is why it is known as abdominal membrane. In case of peritoneal dialysis, peritoneum or abdominal membrane is used to filter out the waste products. The The procedure includes that it uses the patient's peritoneum, which is the lining of the abdominal cavity, which we know is the membrane. So here in this case, you can see this is the abdominal part of the patient. This part here contains peritoneum, which is a membrane. This membrane is actually covering the internal digestive system or internal abdominal cavity. And this peritoneum, it is used as the filtering membrane. In case of hemodialysis, we use the semi-permeable membrane of the dialyzer, while in this case, this peritoneum is actually working as a semi-permeable membrane. What happened in this case is that a cleansing fluid called dialysate is introduced into the peritoneal cavity. So we have this dialysate bag. This dialysate bag has the liquid with no waste material. It means that this is a clean fluid. This clean fluid is passed into the abdomen, into this abdominal cavity space. Here you can see this brownish liquid. This is the dialysis fluid. As this dialysis fluid is going to pass into the dialysis cavity, it's going to absorb waste products and excess fluids from the blood vessels in the peritoneal lining. So here we can see what is happening here, that this one is the blood capillaries. These blood capillaries, they are actually covering all these organs. In these blood capillaries, waste products, nitrogenous waste are present, and this part here is the peritoneal membrane or peritoneum. The waste products, they are going to move from the blood capillaries through the peritoneum, which is a semi-permeable membrane, into the fluid which is passing around these blood vessels into the abdominal cavity. Again, the process of diffusion is taking place here. The waste products, they are going to move from higher concentration to the lower concentration. As the fluid will pass from here, it will start gaining all the waste products. Then it will move out of the body into another bag which is containing the dialysis fluid with high amount of waste products which were present in the blood. So this is how, instead of using external machine, the peritoneum membrane or the peritoneum is used as a semi-permeable membrane. The abdominal cavity is used as a machine, and all the waste product is passed from the blood into this fluid which is moving around the abdominal cavity, and then it is removed out into another bag. So this is how the body is cleaned out of the waste products. If you talk about the frequency of this procedure, this is performed several times a day. Because it is a slow process, it's a natural process. The liquid is naturally moving in the abdominal cavity, so it is done several times a day to remove maximum amount of waste products. So that was our lesson on dialysis and its types. If you have any question related to this topic, or you wanted to learn about any other topic, let me know in the comment section, and I will see you in the next video.